Welcome to the stream, everyone. We will be live on the radio in about a minute, probably less. Got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about the affidavit with this Epstein Obama donor fake judge magistrate hearing that's coming up today. There's some big news out of Ukraine and Russia we're going to get into. There's a whole bunch going on. This should be the last commercial. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone like the video. Tim K, $5 super chat. Welcome, welcome. That's a tank of gas and a little more for the MAGA scooter. Hey, you guys that are members, don't forget there's all those emojis down there that the members get.
Now back to the Steve
Here we
Kane
go.
Show with Brian.
Yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. I cannot hear myself. All right. Rich, am I not coming through? Can you? I can't hear myself. All right, let's try it again. All right, there we are. Welcome to the program. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Radio Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 45 years on the radio, and we have a lot to talk about on the radio this morning. It's affidavit day. This fake judge, pretend judge, a federal magistrate, he's going to have his hearing today. This Epstein lawyer, Obama donor magistrate who signed off on the break-in warrant for Mar-a-Lago. That hearing will be today. We're going to talk about that. There's some big news out of China. Oh my goodness. You know, there's a big question going on. Has World War III already begun? And we just don't know it yet. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that too. But I want to first start talking about this affidavit hearing that is today. Let me read this. This is out of the Fox News website. A federal magistrate here in Florida will hold a hearing today on whether to make public the probable cause affidavit used to justify the FBI's raid of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The hearing is in response to several media outlets asking the court to make the affidavit public to understanding the reasoning for the raid on the home of a president of the United States. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt, remember, a magistrate is like a federal judge's assistant. They couldn't get a real federal judge to sign off on this warrant, so they found this sleazy lawyer magistrate, Epstein lawyer, Obama donor. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt, who greenlit the original search warrant, will preside over the hearing. And we don't know if he'll make a decision today or say he's got to take it under advisement, which is a way to buy time. And of course, the Justice Department is saying it will jeopardize the Trump investigation they're running. Well, of course it will jeopardize their Trump investigation, because we'll find out that it's a phony investigation. Like always, they've got nothing. You know, Bill Maher said the other day, Donald Trump is so lucky. He seems to be so lucky. All these things, they do all these investigations, and he's so lucky he gets away with them. No, he's not lucky. He's a law-abiding citizen who doesn't do crime like these corrupt elected officials and the rest of the federal government. This is part of the problem they have, these Trump derangement syndrome sufferers. Part of the problem they have is they assume that everyone is just as corrupt and criminal as they are. And that's just not the case. They got nothing. I do not believe they have a confidential informant inside the Trump orbit. I do not believe that. I think that's an attempt to divide the Trump family and the Trump organization. They found nothing, they got nothing, and the warrant was based on nothing and lies, just like that FISA warrant when they went to that FISA judge and got the warrant to spy on Trump Tower during the campaign, which was a Oppo research operation for the Clinton campaign, who just knew they were being devastated by Trump during that campaign. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's unfortunate that federal courts are not televised. I really wish they would revise that, or at least give us the live audio from the courtroom today, which I don't think we're going to get. Sometimes you get that from the Supreme Court. Because when the people can't see what's going on in these proceedings, and this is probably, when you think about it, this is probably the most important federal court hearing ever in any of our lifetimes. But, separate from the Supreme Court. Because this is a much lower court. This isn't the. I'm not talking about equating it to the Supreme Court, which is a federal court too. I'm talking about at the lower federal court level, this is probably the biggest case ever. And it really shouldn't be up in front of a magistrate. It should be up in front of a real judge or perhaps the Supreme Court of the United States. And it seems to me the predictions are, I saw Don Jr. last night on Newsmax TV, who was on fire, and he doesn't expect him to unseal the affidavit. Of course not. He's a hack. He's an Epstein lawyer. He's an Obama donor. He's a political activist, like these lunatic teachers with all the genders. It's all about the activism, not really what's lawful, what's unlawful, what the Constitution says, what the laws say in regards to such things. I don't care about that. This is about a bigger agenda. It really, truly is. So your thoughts on that most definitely are welcome on the program today. But there's something big happening that really needs to be discussed. China, this was broken by NBC News yesterday. China is sending troops to Russia for a joint military exercise. This is NBC News. Chinese troops are traveling to Mother Russia to take part in a joint military exercise that includes Belarus, Mongolia, India, and other countries. China's participation, they say, is unrelated to the current international and regional situation. Let me tell you, this is what's going on right now. Good job, Pelosi. Your husband's driving around drunk, getting into accidents. You're going off to Asia, rising tensions. What's going on right now is the Chinese army is heading to Russia for training with Russian troops. This is a joint military training exercise. Why would they be doing that? Why would they be doing that? It's pretty obvious. China and Russia have an alliance, the new Axis powers here. They got this senile old coot who's completely checked out. I mean, you've seen him lately. I saw a clip of Biden on the day Obamacare was passed when he introduced Obama. This guy's declined. He's a whole nother person. I saw some clips of Biden from a few months ago compared to now. He's had an incident. Something's happened with Biden. He has not done an interview since February. China and Russia know that they have a small window of opportunity to take Ukraine and take Taiwan. And I'm telling you, this joint military exercise with China and Russia is in preparation for that. They've allied. They're not, excuse me. Hold on, guys. Sorry, had to clear my throat. But this joint military exercise, I don't care if they've got other countries in it. What it's really about is preparing to take Taiwan and secure their position against Ukraine. Let me tell you, NATO, I don't know why I'm choking so much this morning. NATO has been in existence since, 48, 49, maybe 47? Eisenhower organized and formed NATO when he was still in the army. So NATO has been in existence for 60, 70 years. And they can't take care of Russia? NATO was formed for one reason and one reason only. Stop the Soviet advance. Hold back the Soviet Union. And after 60 years, what do we got? We've got 60 years of corrupt politicians lining their pockets with all the money that we've sent over there, and they can't handle a small little attack by Russia into Ukraine. Give me a break. This was a test. What happened with Russia? Russia decided to go in when they saw how Afghanistan was botched, and they've got this senile Alzheimer's patient in the White House right now who's not running this country. This country is not being run by anyone. This country, the United States, is being run by little factions. Jill Biden has a little area that she controls with her husband. The White House Chief of Staff has some areas that he controls. The military are running themselves. The different government agencies, they're running themselves into the ground in many cases. We have no leadership. China and Russia knows this is their opportunity, and they're making a move. And it should be breaking news sounders that the Chinese army is moving into Russia for training exercises with the Russian army. It scares me, and it should scare you. So the question is, has World War III already begun and we don't know it yet? Looks that way to me. All right, we're going to take our first break of the hour. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Your calls on the topics I brought up so far are most definitely welcome, and I got a lot of other things I've got to bring up. This was humongous news day today. Humongous. News breaking all over the place, and we're going to cover as much of it as we can on the program today. We'll be back right after this break.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Visit our website, FloridaLuxuryCabinets.com.
Oh, man. It's disgusting what's going on here. It's really disgusting what's happening. I would say World War III has begun. Well, it's going to be up to the judge what to do today.
Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but...
Oh, man. How long has everyone been up in the chat room? UK Neil, £4.49, whatever you guys call cents. Thank you for that super chat. Everyone thank UK Neil. How long have all of you been up today?
That's why law enforcement is out there.
I've been up for about 3 hours.
To save lives.
Steve Kane Show.
Think you're okay to drive after a few drinks? Think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. If you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits, conditions and availability. In most states, prices vary based on who you buy. Allstate is a specialty insurance company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you feeling over the hill, tired, sluggish, taking those midday naps, just not feeling yourself? There is help. If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station West El Rey and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Take it from me. I'm a patient. It works. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Alrighty, we are back. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, the great Mike Lindell from MyPillow, he has a big event coming up on Frank's Beach later this month, and as it gets closer, I will tell you all about it. And if you want to support Mike Lindell and all of his great work, go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and take advantage of these incredible specials. You know, there's over a dozen items that are buy one, get one free, which is 50% off when you get a BOGO offer. But you can save as much as 66% off the items at mypillow.com. And I want to talk about the MyPillow My Slippers. I have the MyPillow My Slippers. I have the tan moccasin fur-lined slippers, and they are beautiful. They're comfortable. They're made for all-day wear. Some people wear them all over town. I wear mine at home. I go home and switch out of my Vans and put on my MyPillow My Slippers like Mr. Rogers every day, and they are just so comfortable. Just so much relief and comfort with the MyPillow My Slippers. They come in many different styles and colors. I have those tan fur-lined moccasins, but you don't have to get the fur-lined. They come in all kinds of different colors, including pink for the ladies. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, the MyPillow My Slippers are $90 off. That's right, $90 off, just $49.98. That's right, $90 off, $49.98. When you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, KANE. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Oh, Richie the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
I'm so glad you got me first before you picked up from that idiot from Louisiana, because I hope he realizes that he's been right and we've been wrong. Who cares about Russia and China? It doesn't matter. You know what matters? Global warming and white supremacy in this country are our biggest threats.
Yes.
To save the planet.
And don't forget gender identity. A lot of people grappling with that.
We have no more men and women. We have what you want to be. It's what's your flavor of the day. And then, you know, it's incredible to me. If you wanted to, and we have an open border on the southern border here. So if you wanted to destroy this planet, and if you wanted to destroy the United States, what wouldn't you have done with as this wonderful president who actually, when he signed that bill, if you take a look at that video, he looked at Manchin, his eyes were glazed over. This guy looked like listen, I know no expression in the face. I had a relative that had Alzheimer's, and she had that fear look on her eyes and her face. She was confused. And this guy was sitting there signing, and then he's like, so when
it's a checked out glazed look over the eyes.
Look at his eyes when he signed.
Yeah.
Check that video. But regardless, we're going to be taxed up to kazoo. He's going to sing IRS agents. I hate to tell you, Brian. I think you're going to be ordered.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Great. Yeah. Great way to start the day. Well, you know, you talk about, you know, I saw an article today. It had a headline: "Is Joe Biden overseeing the demise of the United States?" I don't think he's overseeing anything. I don't think he's capable. He's basically been deposed. And there's not a single person running the country, as I said. But you know, this bill that they passed was a big payoff to the donors. We all know this. You know, the Democrat Party, you know, they owe the donors a lot. They've been paying them back through the fake Ukraine war funding. But you have two very old people running the Democrat Party right now, Pelosi and Biden. This is their last rodeo, so they gotta get as much. They gotta make as much money as they can, and the Democrats are going to be out of power in Congress, in particular in the House, which controls the purse strings of the government, in a couple of months, and they're under a lot of pressure. So they passed this humongous bill, and it's awful. It's just awful. It's too awful to even deal with, frankly.
Serious about this. The biggest fear this country had, was Russia and China getting together. And this guy in the White House, whoever's running this country, has brought them together. That invasion of Ukraine, I've looked at this, and I think I was wrong. We shouldn't be in Ukraine. I'm sorry. But we should be worried about our southern border over here, and we should be worried about the American people. And that's why they're against Trump. They just want to weaken this country, and they're doing a great job. If you look, they're doing a great job. Whatever they do.
Well, this is what I've talked to. A lot of people think I'm crazy about this, but more and more people are waking up to this all over this country every day. This military exercise with the Chinese and Russian army that's going to take place is all about Taiwan and Ukraine. There's no doubt about it. They got to get their commanders and their troops accustomed to working with one another, and that's what this is about. So, yeah, exactly. We are, and this thing with TikTok, this whole gender thing is Chinese psyops through TikTok. We do not even have a proper group of people of military recruitment age because this gender identity thing, we just don't. Yeah, no.
Nose rings, pink hair, nose rings, and communists.
And this isn't the old days. Like my father, when he went to Paris Island during Vietnam, he told me that Full Metal Jacket, the part at Paris Island in the beginning, is how it was. He said after that, Vietnam, that stuff, that's all crap. But where the drill instructors could hit you, and all that stuff is probably that way for you in the Army. It's not the way. Yeah. They did what?
Dragged me off of a truck on my face with my duffel bag when I got up to Tank Hill at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, screaming, "Get off the truck!" And they were grabbing us, throwing us to the ground like dogs.
Well, could you imagine if they did that in boot camp today? There's not that they quit. The drill sergeant would be run out of the service with no benefits. So we don't have a military recruitment population anymore. We've got the most incompetent Secretary of Defense in the history of America, and we have this social justice warrior with General Milli Vanilli. I mean, we can't win against China and Russia.
Not only that, these masks that they put on us during the COVID separated these kids. They don't even. There's no unity amongst the children. I mean, they purposely put everyone on an island by themselves, and it's a shame. And this country is. I hate to say this, if we don't take this country back, including the Senate, we're doomed. We are doomed.
Well, I'll tell you, this bill that Biden... See, this is a thing people don't realize. Okay, this terrible bill that Biden signed this week, a lot of it can be stopped when the Republicans take back over because most of everything you're hearing about it is true and it's terrible. And but a lot of it doesn't happen right away. Most of it is just giving money to donors immediately. A lot of these other things take time, and the Republicans can stop it. And I think they will.
If there's not a recession or economy has gone so great, Target yesterday reported their sales for the quarter were down 90%. So how can they twist that? I mean, are they going to say they twisted no inflation? These people are all about scamming the American people.
Well, was it 90%?
Imagine this. And if this keeps going, I mean, this is...
Well, that's because people are only buying the bare necessities. They're not buying... You go into Target and they got that whole section in the beginning to try to get you to impulse buy with all the... People aren't buying that. They're going right to what they need and buying only what they need.
Walmart actually was ahead because of their grocery section.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible what's happening here. So Louisiana, he calls you every day like a moron. And he won't answer the reason why he's... Well,
listen, I got to run for the break, but some good points, Richie. Richie, you're sounding better today, too, thankfully so. I was worried about Richie. He sounded like he had a concussion. He still should go to the doctor. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Call us on hold. Stand by. Back after this. Thankfully so. I was worried about Richie. He sounded like he had a concussion. He still should go to the doctor. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Call us on hold. Stand by. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay, that's because the delay. I switched over to hear what is on the radio, and that's 10-second delay from me to the other studio. But then there's another delay of 20 seconds that goes out over the transmitter. So if you're listening on the radio, that's 30 seconds ago. The people listening on the radio, the way the delay works. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone liked the video. Oh, man, I got to go over this Pence thing, too. Pence is trying to testify to the January 6th committee. That's Snake. And, oh, my goodness. This is just a terrible, terrible time. Ugh. My daughter's out in California for a few weeks, and I'm thinking about flying out, not this weekend, but a weekend coming up. I'm thinking about flying out to California for the weekend to spend with my daughter in California. I have not been to California in well, over 20 years. What kind of jerk does what? What did I miss? Oh, Pence? Pence is a snake. He's a complete snake and lowlife. We'll prevail. We'll get through this. We'll get through it. Well, it's Los Angeles is where I'd be going. My daughter wants to go to Disneyland. She's always wanted to go to Disneyland with me. I don't know if I can go out there this month. I'd have to fly out on a Friday when I got off the radio. So I'd have to go from here to the airport and then come back on Sunday. That's a lot. Yeah, she will be, but she's always wanted to go with me to Disneyland. Woke Disney, exactly. Yeah. I would probably make a vlog. Now let me tell you. I'll ask this on the air. Would it be unsafe like here in if you she has friends out there in California, you know, and her work and school, everything she does is online, so it doesn't matter where she's at. Like you've seen me when I go to Disney World here, you know, I wear my MAGA hat. Would it be safe or unsafe for me to wear my Make America Great Again hat in Los Angeles, in California, and also at Disneyland? What would be the reaction at Disneyland with a MAGA hat on? Well, she stays with her friends, and it's less than $200 round trip to fly out there. You do it, Wookiees? Yeah. The BDE. I always wear my Make America Great Again hat to Disney World. It's $190 to fly round trip to Los Angeles right now. At Disneyland, they would sucker punch me. Tim, $5 super chat. Thank you. Be careful. No, I'm telling him he needs to go to a doctor and have a doctor checked out. They're going to beat me up. Don't poke the bear. Oh my goodness. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Works on all makes and models. New, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 567-245-8100.
I'll throw it out on the radio when I get back. You guys can call me on the air about it.
You heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Callers on hold, stand by. I want to throw something out there and get your opinion on this question I'm going to ask you. My daughter is out in California. You know, my daughter's always out in California. She's like bi-coastal. She has friends out there that she stays with, and it's so cheap to fly these days. But my daughter wants me to come out for a weekend, not this weekend, but an upcoming weekend. She wants me to fly out to Los Angeles and spend the weekend with her and take her to Disneyland. My daughter has always wanted to go to Disneyland with her dad, and I wanted to have that experience too. Now, I don't know if I'm going or not yet, because it would be a little difficult, because if I were to fly out to meet my daughter in Los Angeles, I would fly out after I got off the radio on Friday, get out there. Big time change on the way there is pretty good. Make up some time. So I got Friday afternoon and evening, Disneyland on Saturday, and then fly back home on the first flight I can get on Sunday. So it's a lot. It's a lot to go out there for the weekend. But here's my question to you. Now, I'm not talking about what would happen. I want to hear your thoughts on this, and it's kind of a compound kind of question here. Should I leave my MAGA gear at home in Florida if I go to California? Would it be safe for me to wear my Make America Great Again hat at Disneyland in Anaheim, California? Or would it be unsafe for me to wear my MAGA hat at Disneyland in Anaheim, California? What would the reaction be from the park goers out there? And I know we have listeners out in that area. And I'd also like to know how dangerous it would be for me to walk through Los Angeles with my MAGA hat on. And in Anaheim, which I hear Anaheim's not the nicest of areas. But if I only wore the MAGA hat, only wore it inside Disneyland itself in Anaheim, California, would that be an unsafe thing for me to do? And I really want to seriously hear what you think about it. And if it's unsafe, how unsafe? And I'm not talking about wearing it around Los Angeles or out on the streets of Anaheim. I'm talking about actually within the park of Disneyland itself. What would be the danger level, if any, of me doing that? If I go and do it, I most definitely will make a YouTube video of my day. So, but I don't know. Here in Florida, I wear my MAGA hat everywhere, and certainly wear it when I've gone to Walt Disney World and the other theme parks. I love the theme parks. Halloween Horror Nights is coming up at Universal Orlando. My daughter and I do that every year. And I wear my MAGA hat to that, and I don't have any problems. This is Florida. Every once in a while, I'll hear an F-bomb or F-U or something, or something like that. But this is Ron DeSantis' free Florida. I have not been to California in like ages. So anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Someone texted me and said, would it be dangerous for me to wear a Malcolm X hat in Disney? Maybe I should wear like a Malcolm X shirt and the MAGA hat. I don't know. No, and I'm asking this as a serious thing because I'm considering going to meet her out there. And if I do it, It's sunny. It's sunny California. I need a hat, and all my hats are Trump hats. So, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We will. It would be a good test of how woke Disneyland is, wouldn't it? I could do a whole YouTube video on that one, testing how woke, how tolerant Disneyland is. I'm at Disneyland with my Make America Great Again hat. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If I were to get attacked, hey, maybe I'll go viral on social media. I don't know. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Sandra from Indiana.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, I've got just 3 comments. One, if you wore your hat, you would be 90% likely to be assaulted.
On the grounds of Disneyland itself, like I'm in line for It's a Small World, you think I might get attacked?
You had anything that had on your person that dealt with Trump.
Wow.
Malcolm X would be totally acceptable with everybody, but if you wore something about Trump, no, because California is like a country or a world all its own.
Yeah. So really, Disneyland is supposed to be the happiest place on earth. So you're telling me that if I wore my MAGA hat on the grounds of Disneyland, inside the gates of Disneyland, I'm not talking about the streets of LA, but on the grounds of Disneyland, you believe I would be physically assaulted?
Yes. Yes. The last 2 years,
I haven't said I'm going yet. My daughter asked me to go.
Really good to really, you know what.
Well, I think it might be a good test, though, to how tolerant Californians are, and how tolerant Disneyland is.
They're not tolerant people. The next thing, if the FBI and them really had something on Trump, they would not be waiting this long. They would be flashing it through international news if there was anything they had against Trump.
Well, you know how it is whenever they do these big federal raids, like on the drug dealers, they have a press conference and they have a table in front of them with all the drugs, or the money, or whatever or the planes or the cars, whatever they took or seized. And this one, I've never seen something like this before. And it's an interesting thing. One of our listeners from the UK Neil, called in with this first, and I didn't realize this until after I got off the phone with him, but he brought this question up. The only reason we know about this raid is because Trump told us. They tried to keep it secret. And Trump went on Truth Social and told everybody it happened. If it weren't for Trump telling us, we may not really know about it. We may have heard a rumor, but we never would have really known.
And the last thing, with the Biden regime that we have in office right now, and their corruption, and his own son's corruption, and the laptop, if this was happening 200 years ago, that...
Okay, all right. I don't need to finish that sentence. Good morning, you're on the radio. Because I would just had to dump whatever she was going to say. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
You got me?
I think so.
Hey. Hi, Jay, Sunrise.
All right, Sunrise.
Brian, just wanted to say that I believe you wear your MAGA hat over at Disney. Staff may ask you to remove it or leave.
At Disneyland. You think they'll ask me to remove it or leave if I were to do that?
I think yes, there's a possibility. A strong possibility.
Wow, really? That's not very tolerant.
Well, they were tolerant.
Now, if I get inside Disneyland, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do this or not. My daughter has asked me to meet her out there. I don't know if I can. It's a lot to do in a weekend, flying all the way to California and all that for a day at Disneyland. But so if I'm inside the park, though, if I get inside with the Make America Great Again hat, and I'm riding in line for Space Mountain, It's a Small World, do you think I'm in danger? Or do you think people would just be shouting profanities at me?
Well, people are going to say things. I believe they will. But somebody may approach staff and say that they're offended by it, or
They're offended.
we're there because we're domestic terrorists.
Oh my goodness! And they'll call me an insurrectionist or something.
Of course. Well, they are already, man.
Yeah, I've been called worse. Okay, so would you recommend doing that or not?
I would discuss it with my daughter if I was you.
I didn't let my daughter's a kid. She's 23. I gotta,
Well, yeah, but you're going out there to show her a good time at Disney. Okay, I wouldn't want her feelings being hurt, my daughter's feelings being hurt, if
that might be.
I ran into some kind of
want to answer that.
or had some kind of conflict because I'm wearing the hat. Okay, but
Might be
I
him.
gotta
I don't
go.
know. All right, take care. Appreciate it. Yeah, that one might be. That might be him. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll get back to your calls after the break. And I want to hear your thoughts on everything I brought up so far, not just my possible trip to Southern California and wearing a MAGA hat. I'm not stupid, okay? I'm not going to walk the streets of L.A. with a Make America Great Again hat on. That's not going to happen. I mean, that's, I might as well go to the south side of Chicago and walk around Jussie Smollett's MAGA country at 2 a.m. I mean, I'm asking for it. If I walked around the city of Los Angeles, if I go to Hollywood with the MAGA hat on, I'm asking to be attacked. I'm talking about inside Disneyland itself. So if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with your calls. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Back after this. 465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right, and we're going to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group a little early this morning, but hey, there's always a light on in attorney Barry Siegel's office, right? Hey, Barry, good morning.
Hey, Brian, good morning. How are you?
Doing all right.
Well, I was going to talk today about time and money and what we would do to spend a little bit of time to save a lot of money. So, let's take, for example, if any of us were combing over our credit card bill and we saw something on there that we didn't recognize or was definitely not a legitimate charge, and it was $50 or $100 or whatever it was, most of us are going to pick up the phone, spend time dealing with customer service and, maybe having to go back and forth, make a couple calls, research some things, and by the time you're done, you're looking at least an hour or two of your time to save whatever it may be, $100 or so. And so taking that into account, if one thing that is very likely, especially if you're married, if you or your spouse become ill someday and you're in your retirement years and one of you becomes ill and needs care, either at home or outside of the home in a facility like a nursing home or assisted living facility, the cost of that care can be debilitating. It can end up costing you everything where you have to spend down your assets. And there's really only one solution other than having long-term care insurance, which most people don't have or don't have enough of. And so the one solution, if you don't have long-term care and you don't want to spend down your money and go broke, is to qualify for government benefits like Medicaid. But the problem is that people think that they cannot qualify. They think they have too much money, too much income, and they don't even get the facts. So if you're willing to sit there for an hour or two to try to figure out how to save $100 on your credit card account, but you're not willing to take an hour of your time to learn about the possibility that you may be able to qualify to get government benefits for you or your spouse if either of you need care, to find out that you may, even though you may have assets, there are ways that you could qualify for Medicaid, For example, your home doesn't count. For example, retirement accounts may not count. There's so many things that you need to know. And as we know, Brian, we all, all of us have this. We don't know what we don't know. So I would urge anyone, especially anyone who may be approaching their retirement years or in their retirement years, to get the facts, get the information, because it could be the difference between protecting everything or losing.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group, attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group, has an entire team of people at his office that deal just with this, the Medicaid planning. And some on that team have had this experience with their very own family and know it firsthand. And I'll just, one thing I picked up from you a few weeks ago, Barry, that I did not realize, a lot of people have long-term care coverage, but it's not enough to cover these things. And people assume that they have everything taken care of because they have long-term care coverage. That very well may not be the case. Now, it's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group have offices throughout South Florida in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County, and no matter where, in northern Palm Beach County at that, no matter where you are located in Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help, and it's always a no-charge consultation. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, you can find them online at siegellawgroup.com or give them a call toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk tomorrow.
All right, Brian, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.
All right. Back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. There's only one opening on the board where Attorney Barry Siegel was. And just let me recap for people just tuning in. I talked about a number of things that you were welcome to call in on. This military exercise. China, they're sending soldiers to train with the Russians in Russia. Very scary thing. Also, it's Affidavit Day for the Trump Mar-a-Lago break-in. But I was talking about that my daughter is in Los Angeles. She's asked me to come out and take her to Disneyland, which I don't know if I'm going to do. I don't know if I can this month, but she would like me to come out there. And I'm asking people, would it be dangerous? I mean, really dangerous for me to wear my Make America Great Again hat at Disneyland. I know it would be dangerous in Los Angeles proper, but I'm talking about within the gates of Mr. Walt Disney's Disneyland. Okay, would it be dangerous? And how dangerous would it be? You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is John in Wellington.
Oh, hey, John.
Okay, what I would like you to do is, I would like you to go to Disneyland with your daughter. I want you to have the time of your life. I want you to have a wonderful experience with her. But I highly advise against wearing any kind of Trump gear because what you're trying to prove has already been proven. We know how intolerant the left are. And doing this experiment is not worth a punch in the nose or a dislocation.
Somebody would actually punch me in Disneyland for having a MAGA hat on? They would actually physically assault me, you think?
I believe so.
Oh, my goodness. But that's a felony.
Yes, of course it is, but they're unhinged. What you want to do is you want to go and have a wonderful time with your daughter and don't stain it by allowing leftists to be leftists.
Yeah.
You might as well go to Red China and wear a big T-shirt that says communism sucks. It amounts to the same.
Well, that'd be safer. They may not read English, so that might be a little safer. I know what you mean, though. Okay. All right, I'll take that under consideration. All right, take care, John in Wellington. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Louise, the Mass Clay.
Oh, hey, Louise.
Boca?
Yes.
I mean, I don't get it. If you've been to Disney World here so many times, what is the point of going to Disneyland over there? I just don't get it.
Well, my daughter wants to go and experience it, and it's the...
And I was there many years ago. What's the... I don't see the difference.
Okay. Well, I know they got a beach there. We got a beach here, but,
in East Boca, I wouldn't even put a Trump sign when he's running again.
I wear my MAGA gear all over Boca, unless I'm going out to eat.
here.
Oh no, I wear my Trump gear, and people, nice hat, nice shirt, love the hat. I get all kinds of positive comments in Boca.
Well, I just don't see the point. If you've been to Disney World here many times, I don't see it. Go to that dump wearing any gear.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, good advice. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
Let me tell you something. It all is in who the liberals think you are as far as being able to take care of yourself. Because I wear my Trump gear anywhere, anytime, and there ain't no fool that's going to try to put a hand on me.
Yeah, but there's certain areas that, you know, you don't go to. Would you wouldn't go to Jeff, hold on, slow down. If you listen. There are certain things that this is America, and you have a right to go and do whatever you want, but there are certain things that are life-threatening. For example, if I or you or anyone were to wear Make America Great Again hats on the streets of New York, even in front of Trump Tower, you likely would be killed. And what would happen in the news media is they would say, what was that idiot Brian Craig and Jeff from Maine thinking, walking through the streets of New York City with a Make America Great Again hat on? They got themselves killed. So there's certain things that you do that put yourself in jeopardy, even though you have a right to do it.
If I was to go to New York City, I'd have about 6 other Marines with me, and I guarantee you,
you'd all be dead.
Life in their own hands.
Now, come on. You know, you're not going somewhere to pick a fight. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Brian, this is America, and I should be able to do what I want.
Well, should. Okay, I should be able to. This is America, not the world of should. I agree with you. You can go anywhere you want in America, but there are situations where you put yourself in jeopardy. You know, I was watching, my wife and I watch true crime, and there's this new series on Lifetime that is so terrifying. It's called Text Me on the Way Home, and it's people that are on the phone texting or talking on their phone with someone as they're killed. And there was a terrible one of a girl who went to the public library at night, 10 o'clock at night, to put books in the slot that she was returning to the library, and she got raped and beaten into a coma by some guy. And she saw the guy before. Now, of course, she has a right in America to return library books and presumed to be safe doing that, but doing it at 10:30 at night when there's a creepy guy out in front of the library and nobody else isn't smart. You understand what I mean? So, you know,
women should not be anywhere alone at night in most parts of America. It's scary how much America has changed in that degree.
Do you think, yeah, I know. Do you think if I wore my Make America Great Again hat to Disneyland, do you think I would be attacked?
I really think that California is coming around.
What California is that?
In a public park, though, Brian, do you think they would?
They've had fights there on a regular day just amongst people, so it's not as civilized as our Disney World.
And you do wear your gear at Disney World.
Oh yeah, I've got YouTube videos of it. You can see, yeah, absolutely, all the time. But this is Ron DeSantis' free Florida I'm in. I'm not in Governor Newsom's Southern California.
So, if you went to Disneyland, would you try it, or would you just say no?
Well, I'm considering. I don't even know if I'm going. I'm considering it. Yeah, I'm considering it. And if I do it, I'll make a YouTube video of it and see how the day goes. But I don't want to get punched out like I see these people on the streets of New York. You know.
What Brother Herman and Brother Michael Todd on the chat room could go with you, because I guarantee you with us on your...
But you know what, though? When there's a difference between knowing something's coming and defending yourself and being sucker punched. Being sucker punched is a whole nother deal. You know?
Yeah, so have you ever been sucker punched?
Yeah, more than once. Yeah.
Just because you're who you are, being a conservative and stuff.
And other times too. I have been attacked on a number of occasions by liberal listeners physically. Yeah. Yeah, I was hit in the face and the nose. I was hit in the face and the nose by a liberal listener, and I've had other things happen. But in my younger days, when my mouth was much bigger than it is today, I'd gotten punched a couple of times here and there. Sure.
Wow, and that just goes to show you, America without patriots, we're a constitutional republic. How we've changed in the last 30, 40 years.
How so?
Freedom. I believe our freedoms have been slowly chipped away.
Well, in the last year and a half, big time. I mean, that's what's going on. Yeah.
It's been an accumulation of 30 years.
It's really, this terrible transformation America's in really began with the Vietnam War protest era. That's when the communists took over the education system, and that was the end of it.
And the media turned the American people on the GIs.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, Jeff from Maine, take care. All right, so I got some varied opinions. I think everyone agrees I'll be attacked. The only difference is everyone but Jeff says I shouldn't put myself in such a situation. Jeff says go out there and look for the fight. I don't know about that. No, I'm not going to go somewhere with my daughter and look for a fight. That's not good parenting. Our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We are here on the radio weekday mornings from 5 until 9 a.m. taking your calls. And there's a lot of news to discuss. I got a lot of stories I have not even touched on yet that I'm going to get into after the top of the hour break. And I'm also going to recap the two big news stories, the China move with Russia towards Ukraine and this ridiculous fake judge, this federal magistrate with the Mar-a-Lago Affidavit break-in hearing today. We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. There's just so much breaking news going on that we've got to touch on a great many things between now and the end of the show. But we will get back to your calls after the break. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Those of you that are new to the program and you want to learn more about Steve Kane and myself, Brian Craig, go to our website, stevekaneshow.com, and learn more about us there. We'll be right back after this. Steve Kane and myself, Brian Craig, go to our website, stevekaneshow.com, and learn more about us there. We'll be right back. Dan, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Dan for that super chat. You have to take your daughter to Disneyland, so that's that. What I would consider is wearing a bedpan Kamala shirt hat and see how many boos you get. Yeah. Question is how bad. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Oh, awesome, Mark. Mark just gifted someone a membership. And Viking Warrior got it. So Viking Warrior, now you were gifted by Mark Strange a membership. So go and check out all the exclusive membership things, including the emojis, and there's a lot of other content that only members have access to. Yeah, thanks for doing that, Mark.
What you can do is use Southwest 2nd Avenue instead as an alternate. Crash-free Turnpike in 95 in Palm Beach County. We are seeing volume 95 southbound beyond Donald Ross Road and approaching 45th Street.
Oh, man.
Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop.
Awesome, Mark. No, that's awesome. All right, so I got a lot to get into here.
Your support can go at unbound.org. That's Check on Traffic. I'm Greg Taylor.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
ABC News Now, I'm Mark Remillard. It's expected the chief financial officer of former President Trump's namesake company, Alan Weisselberg, will plead guilty to tax violations on Thursday. His guilty plea
This Weisselberg thing.
testimony about illicit business practices at Trump's company. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky vowing changes for the agency.
Steve Kane Show.
Found deficiencies in the way it conveyed guidance to the public during the
All right, hold on.
pandemic. Former CDC
and it was clear, it was easier to understand, but it definitely wasn't first. It was basically catching up with what the general public was already doing.
When somebody gifts a membership, it randomly assigns it to someone. You can't pick a person to gift it to. And it's supposed to assign it to people based on how active they are in whatever channel it's in. Like if it's somebody else's channel, they have it. So that's how that works. It's random, but not completely random. All right, we're coming back.
Everyone's got one. Get yours in. The Steve Kane Show.
Alrighty. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. Indeed it is. Oh man, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Callers on hold, stand by. Today, the fake judge, the wannabe judge, the federal magistrate that signed off on the order to break into Mar-a-Lago, they're having a hearing today to unseal the affidavit. I saw Don Jr. on Newsmax last night. He said, do you think it's just a coincidence that this magistrate that signed off on this is an Obama donor and a Jeffrey Epstein attorney? Just a coincidence? Exactly. And Don Jr. doesn't think he's going to unseal it. And he's close to this, and I think that's probably what the attorneys have told the Trump family. And the Department of Justice is saying, you can't unseal it, it'll jeopardize our case against Trump. Well, of course it will, because it'll expose that they got nothing, that they got a fake warrant based on fake information. I do not believe there is a confidential informant inside the Trump orbit. I don't believe that. All right, so let's go back to our phones at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Karen. I'm calling from Georgia.
Karen in Georgia. What's on your mind?
I agree. I think Steve would be at risk wearing Florida.
And I mean in California, Disneyland? Well, you're on. It's Brian. You're on the air now. We take our calls screenless here. We answer them live on the air. You're on the radio right now. You've already were on the radio before. Now, but you're in Georgia. Why would someone, California is the liberal paradise, right? It's controlled by liberal Democrats who are tolerant. Why would liberal Democrats that are so tolerant physically attack someone just because they're wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again"? Why would that trigger them? Why would they do? It doesn't sound very tolerant.
No, they're not tolerant. Who says they're tolerant?
Well, they do. They're liberals. They say they're tolerant and accepting of others.
Everybody thinks well of themselves. But here's the thing. My question to Steve, Black Lives Matter going through Mississippi.
Mississippi is probably a majority black population, at least in big parts of it. Yeah, Black Lives Matter in Mississippi, yeah, you'd be safe there. Yeah. Yeah, if it were the 50s or 60s, maybe not, but I would think today, yeah, you'd be safe.
Try Texas. Try Texas.
Oh, yeah, you'd be safe in Texas with yeah.
No, come on. You know what I'm saying.
Conservatives generally, Trump people, MAGA people, don't attack. I know you had that one incident.
Oh, at his rally.
Wait a minute. Slow down. No, slow down. I want to get some information here. You're telling me that MAGA patriots, Donald Trump supporters like myself in Texas have attacked black people at rallies?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying we've seen rallies on television where blacks have been at Trump rallies and they want to throw them out, and Trump has encouraged them to punch them out.
Oh, whoa. Oh, really? Oh, slow down. Okay, hold on, slow down. Oh, this is great. We're going to make some breaking news here. I'm very excited. Donald Trump has told his supporters to punch out black people?
I've seen it on television.
You've seen it on television. You've seen President Trump. Oh, slow down. You've seen President Trump tell his supporters at a rally to punch out black people. You've seen that.
I've seen them. They had somebody that was there.
Oh, okay, so slow down. Okay, so this is what I need. This is what I need from you. I need you to send me the video of that. I will play it on the radio.
Video? I don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't have it? Well, I want to play it to the radio listeners. I want people to hear that.
But you know I don't have it. What I'm saying...
Oh, I know you don't have it. And you know what else? You know what else I know? No one has it. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Had to hit the dump button there. First time today. Almost had to do it before, but I cut him off first. She used 3 words you can't use on the radio. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm waiting for the delay to build back up before we take any more calls. So yeah, I know that she doesn't have the tape because it doesn't exist. President Trump telling people at his rallies to punch out black people. I'll play it on the radio at the top of every hour of the show. Oh my goodness, the delay's almost built back up. Okay, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. That's our number, toll free. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, I would wear my MAGA hat and go there. What I don't understand is I'm dumbfounded with these people that don't like the thing, make America great. Now, what true American don't want that to happen?
Well, what triggers them, because you got to understand, Trump derangement syndrome is a pretty serious mental disorder, right? It's a psychological disorder. And the part that triggers them is again. And they think by again, that means back to the Democrat Jim Crow era of Democrat segregation against minorities. That's what they translate again into.
Unbelievable.
They're lunatics.
Lunatics is right.
Now, what do you think about the last caller? She said she's seen President Trump tell MAGA people at a rally to punch out black people. You ever? I want to see it too. Since Trump came down the escalator, I have seen all but maybe 2 of his rallies. And over the years, I may have missed 1 or 2. I've never seen him tell people to punch out black people. I've never seen that. But if I had that, if she's got that audio, if any other Democrats have that audio, please get it to me. I'll go viral. I'll play it on the radio. We'll make big news. I'll get CNN over here. I'll get MSNBC over here. They love to come and put that on television. Oh, man. Be huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, thank you. I love the show, too. Thanks for the call. Oh, man. 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. I have some other stories I have not touched on yet. I'm going to wait until after the next break to get into them. There's just so much breaking news going on. Now, this judge in the Mar-a-Lago break-in case, like I said, Don Jr. is predicting they're not going to unseal it because the Justice Department is saying it'll jeopardize their case because they got no case. The very fact that they couldn't get a real federal judge to sign off on the warrant tells you everything you need to know. I was watching Newsmax last night. Who's the guy that comes on after Greta? He is very good. Schmidt, is that his name? Oh, man, he is very, very good. He had a great guest on last night. And Roger Stone, he's expecting charges against President Trump. And I'll tell you, Roger Stone's a little kooky, but when it comes to analysis of what's going on in the world of politics, he is most always spot on the money and very good and very well informed, and his analysis is very good. And yeah, I believe they already have a sealed indictment against President Trump from one of these liberal Democrat grand juries up there in the D.C. area. And they do expect to do that. You got to understand, they really do believe President Trump is a criminal. And nothing will convince them of anything else. And these people think that their delusions are real. And they've got this group delusion think going on in the Trump derangement. And this judge is a part of it. An Epstein lawyer, an Obama donor. Come on. Come on. So even if he did unseal it and they had nothing in it, it's not going to slow them down at all. Now, after the next break, I'm going to get into some of the news stories that we've got to touch on. And if you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're welcome to call in on any of the topics we've brought up so far on the program. And I'm going to bring up some new ones, too, that are very important. 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. And don't forget, if you miss a part of the show, go to our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com. oldiesouthflorida.com. About an hour after we go off the air every morning, the entire radio show is uploaded there in podcast form. So the whole show. So if you miss a part of the show, go to oldiesouthflorida.com and go to the Steve Kane Show portion of the website, and you'll see about an hour after the show each day. It takes a while to do the production and get it uploaded. And every show not only is uploaded there every day, it's also archived. So all the past shows are there too. Back after this. And get it uploaded. And every show not only is uploaded there every day, it's also archived. So all the past shows. Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Mark gifted another membership. Who was the recipient of that? I don't see.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633.
I didn't see who got it either. I missed it.
BrightonDentalCare.com.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now of Coral Springs.
Thanks so much, Mark. Yeah, I don't see who got it. If somebody catches who got it, let me know.
Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's
Natalie Ann, someone said?
Customized home security system and professional
Yes, Natalie Ann just got it. It took a couple minutes. So Natalie Ann now has access to all the member content.
3 armed doors and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets, your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Visit our website, FloridaLuxuryCabinets.com.
Hi, I'm Tonka. Saturday mornings will never be the same. Neither is your body. I'm gonna let you in on my big health secret. Body Talk with Tonka. Saturday mornings on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Join the movement. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Ready to get fired up? Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-COCAINE-1. This is the Steve.
Yes. Yes, it is. We are back. Oh, man, and we've got a lot to talk about in this segment. Calls on hold, stand by. I want to introduce something here that is disgusting. I really hate sharing what I'm going to share with you right now, and it's really ticking me off. In fact, I got a few things I'm going to share with you this morning that will upset you and have upset me. The first, this humiliating defeat of Liz Cheney doesn't mean they're done. And it doesn't mean that the January 6th committee is folding. Pelosi's still the speaker, and Liz Cheney is still in the House of Representatives. The next phase of the January 6th Kangaroo Committee was announced yesterday. Mike Pence was at a speaking engagement yesterday, and he was asked a question. Let me play this for you. This is really, he's a disgusting person, Mike Pence. And full disclosure, I never liked Mike Pence. When President Trump picked Mike Pence, I thought it was a strange pick. And I talked about this a lot at the time. I said, you know, this is what I don't like about Mike Pence. You don't know what he's really like. His personality is too guarded. And he's too holier than thou. I've never trusted Mike Pence. And people would get upset at me on the phones about that. I'll support anything Donald Trump does. Don't misunderstand me. But Mike Pence, I just never trusted the guy. And it looks like I was right. So this is Mike Pence yesterday.
Chairman said, if they were to call you to the committee, come and justify and talk, would you be agreeable?
Well, I would, if there was an invitation to participate, I would consider it. But you've heard me mention the Constitution a few times this morning. On the Constitution, we have 3 co-equal branches of government. And any invitation to be directed to me, I would have to reflect on the unique role that I was serving in as Vice President. It would be unprecedented in history for a Vice President to be summoned to testify on Capitol Hill. But as I said, I don't want to prejudge. So if ever any formal invitation rendered to us, we give it due consideration, but my first obligation is to continue to uphold my oath, continue to uphold the framework of government enshrined in the Constitution that has created the greatest nation in the history of the world. We'll do that, and we'll do that.
Okay, I know the audio quality is not the best, but I don't care. That snake, I have to play it for you. We're going to talk about it. What do they say on Fox News all the time? There's lots to unpack here. I want to point out several things about this and then what's going on. One, he refers to himself as we. He uses the royal we. So you got a megalomaniac lunatic here, very self-important. His constant pausing is another sign of his self-importance and arrogance, so that you can ponder the words that have just been uttered by Mike Pence. Mike Pence, in that audio, he gave this speech, and what was that thing called? The Soup and Crackers? Or that has some weird name for this group. I don't care what it was called. They go to, he takes questions and they ask if he'd testify at the January 6th committee. That was a complete staged event, a staged question that he knew was coming in advance. If you were asking questions of Mike Pence right now, the first thing you would ask is his opinion on the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, but they went right to that. This is what happened. Liz Cheney got creamed, and it's being reported today that Biden called Liz Cheney after her defeat. When does the Democrat president call House members who were defeated that are Republicans. I've never heard of such a thing before, but it happened. There was a strategy session with Liz Cheney and all the other snakes, and Pence was a part of it, Paul Ryan, all the rest, probably the Murdoch boys, and they said, what are we going to do now? Now they've got, Liz is lost, what are we going to do now? They've got the next phase. It's Mike Pence. Mike Pence being called to testify at the January 6th committee would be a humongous media spectacle. A vice president, to my knowledge, has never testified in front of a House committee. Certainly not since the era of color television. Okay? This would be a humongous news event. All programming would be preempted. And you see how arrogant he is. So he is conspiring and part of phase 2 of the January 6th committee, since they got nothing. And they tell themselves, this'll do it. We get Pence in there, this will wake them up. They always think the next scheme is going to wake us up. They're always scheming. But Mike Pence is a co-conspirator with Liz Cheney and all these other snakes in the January 6th Kangaroo Committee, and this is their next plan. That was not a random question. It was completely faked. It was a complete planned event, probably rehearsed. There you go. It's disgusting. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, man, they call me Texan, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
They call you what?
Texan.
Texan. Okay. They call you that in Texas?
Driver, that's my CB handle.
Oh, that's your CB handle. Okay. Okay.
Sir, I'm a truck driver, over-the-road truck driver. Anyway,
is there another kind of truck driver? Wait a minute. You're an over-the-road truck driver? Aren't all trucks over the road? Is there an under-the-road truck driver?
Well, there are some, but...
You mean there are truck drivers that don't drive on the road, that drive under the road? I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, some of them are like underground railroad kind of truck drivers.
Underground railroads?
Yeah, they bring the illegals over, but no, I've got 8 states, man, across the United States.
Okay. Anyway, what's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Man, I tell you what, this Pence thing that you're talking about, let's take a step back just for a second, and let's go back to like Ronald Reagan, right? And George Herbert Walker Bush. That's kind of what this was with Pence. Pence was the deep state's insurance policy, because they did their best to try to take Trump out. You know, and they had their insurance policy in place, which was, Pence. And it didn't...
Well, I want to talk about what's going on now. And what's going on now is the next phase, because we've been wondering, now that Liz Cheney has lost, what happens to the January 6th committee? What are their plans? And her being defeated kind of deflates her power and influence and prestige on these committees. Bringing in Pence is their next phase.
Their insurance policy, and it's fallen apart right in front of their very eyes. That's why the raid on Mar-a-Lago on President Trump's house is just put fuel on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it really brought his base together. Not only brought Trump's base together, but it's actually got people to cross the line that were in between as moderates.
Oh yeah, I mean, there are people out there that have really been woken up to this and but the break-in of Mar-a-Lago woke up a lot of Democrats to say, well, wait a minute, none of these things they were saying about Trump were true. They really were, because a lot of these lefties believe Stormy Daniels, Russia, all that stuff. And now Trump has been cleared in their minds of everything he's ever been accused of because they pushed too far.
Everything that Trump has been saying since he walked down, or didn't walk down the escalator, but came down the escalator that day and announced his president.
Mm-hmm.
Solidified everything from them putting, they bugged my home, and the FBI did, and everybody laughed at him.
And then we found out it was true. Hey, listen, I got to run for our break, but thanks for the call. Texan truck driver right there. A little strange guy. Have you ever heard that before? He said he's an on-the-road trucker. I've never heard that phrase before. Maybe it's very common. All right, it's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve will be joining us after the bottom of the hour break. We got a lot more to talk about, too. I have just scratched the surface, and a lot of breaking news coming up, including some big news on the break-in of Mar-a-Lago that you have heard nowhere else, but you will hear here first this morning. Back after this. Coming up, including some big news on the break-in of Mar-a-Lago that you have heard nowhere else, but you will hear here first this morning. Back after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. Rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm first warning meteorologist Vanessa Benent from WPBF 25 News. Another hot day with those feels-like temperatures climbing into the hundreds later this afternoon, flirting with record highs later this afternoon as well. And afternoon showers and thunderstorms will be developing after 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock this evening.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
Right now in Broward County, we do have a closure, and it's on Federal Highway. Between Dixie Highway and Sterling Road, you could go ahead and use Southwest 2nd Avenue as your alternate route. Also seeing slowdowns 95 northbound before Hollywood Boulevard. That's from an earlier incident. And Atlantic Avenue, just east of the Turnpike, we have a crash in Palm Beach County. This report brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. When your ride fires on all cylinders, so do you. That's why Napa's...
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. I'm just reading a story I'm going to talk about. Yeah, he said it's a CB handle. Yeah, I've heard of long-distance drivers. I've never heard on-the-road driver before. But I don't know. I'm not a truck driver. I don't know.
At the Biostation West El Rey, hormone replacement pellet therapy will 100% stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone.
Over-the-road truckers drive longer distances. Is that a common thing? I've never heard that before.
Call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Seniors, how would you like to save money on your Medicare Part B premium? Don't pay too much. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and find out how much money you can save. There are also changes to prescription drug plans in 2023. Find out how much money you can save on your prescription.
Mark's on a tear today. He's giving away 7 memberships. Now, the way that works, I was explaining earlier, when someone gives memberships, they're randomly gifted to people in the chat. But YouTube says they're gifted to people based on how active they are on the channel. So the more active you are, the more likely you are to get one of them. And don't forget, if you're a member, you have access to all those member-only emojis. And also, there's a lot of members-only content as well you have access to.
And helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Thanks so much, Mark. That's very nice of you to do that. The Texan. I've just never heard that phrase before over the road. I've heard of long distance drivers, but
Other side effects include gas, stomach
you learn something every day, right?
Could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Yeah, you can use those emojis immediately.
From Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy.
And these are emojis that only members have access to.
This year it's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program.
Oh, I'm always open to learning new things. Absolutely.
And knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754.
How's your voice, Rome, Wisconsin? When your voice gets back to normal, you need to call in so people can hear the after COVID voice.
6642.
Today on Hey Culligan, better water that cares. James on the line.
Hey Culligan, how can I avoid using all those plastic water bottles that harm the sea turtles?
Jane, our always-on drinking water system helps eliminate the equivalent of 15 billion single-use plastic bottles a year. So, you see, Culligan cares about sea turtles, too.
Aw, plastic pollutes and Culligan cures.
That's catchy, Jane, and totally true.
I'll take it, like now.
Jane, we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Please listen to Moment of Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We'll read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
And in your face, the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies.
Alrighty, we are back. Welcome everyone who's just tuning in. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot, but that's okay. We still have a little less than 90 minutes to go. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. Good morning. Oh, man, there's a lot happening today. I've only scratched the surface. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know if you...
We've been talking about this for weeks now, and I'm surprised that there's anybody, at least in our audience, who is surprised by what's going on. Let me run it by you real quick, the encapsulated version. I don't know exactly what the chronology will be, exactly when these things will occur, but they are going to indict, they're going to suggest, the committee is going to suggest that that they indict Trump. There's no question of that. And the proof of that, if you think of it logically, is the reason that's going to happen is because they can. It's that simple. And once this thing gets in front of a D.C. grand jury, I get very nervous about it. And we're in for some tough times, and we've got...
Well, but what we got now is we got a new piece to the puzzle, and that's the grand finale of the January 6th committee is Mike Pence testifying. Now we have from Mike Pence's soups and noodles speech that he gave yesterday when he's basically... You know, this thing with Mike Pence when he was asked this fake question, just totally random, about the January 6th committee and him testifying, I believe he was part of a meeting the night before after Cheney's loss. What are we going to do next? And he's the grand finale. And then after he testifies, which will be a media spectacle like Lewinsky when she showed up to testify or give her statement to Ken Starr years ago, then the Kangaroo Committee, then they'll recommend it, and they'll do it with Pence's blessing there. That Pence is a real snake, I must tell you.
Have not accomplished an important goal that they've got to reach before they can bring Pence in. They've got to get Pence to the position where he is accepted by the American public as a palatable alternative.
No, not to testify. I don't think so. No, Pence is he's a useful idiot who's been bought off. You know, this talk of him running for president is a big financial scam. You know as well as I do, Steve and I have talked about this. Without naming names, there are people that make a living doing nothing but running for office because the campaigns raise a lot of money and people make a lot of money running for office. And they're paying Pence off through what's going to be a very much a loser campaign for president, just like they're going to do with Liz Cheney. It's a grift. But this thing that happened with Pence is to start the dialogue of Pence testifying so that when they call him, people will be prepared for it, because having a vice president in front of a committee has never happened before. And, yeah.
Until the polls indicate that Pence is accepted by a large swath of the electorate, they're not going to move ahead in that direction.
No. You're talking about two different things. I'm not talking about him running. I'm talking about him He said yesterday, Pence, that he is open to testify. Yeah. They broke. Yeah. Well, because he supposedly is a good Christian man, not just some grifter, scumbag.
He's a grifter.
Yeah, he's a definite grifter. Now, I got a couple other things that I want to throw out. Your thoughts on Pence testifying? I mean, I think it's a pretty much a done deal. I want to play a piece of audio here, though. It's kind of related. This involves Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney. Have you heard Liz Cheney's concession call to Hagerman? I'm going to play it for you. Yeah. Hagerman said that she got a concession message that was just a couple seconds long from Liz Cheney. So Liz Cheney recorded herself calling Hagerman to concede. I'm going to play you the audio. And the reason I'm going to play the audio is I want to say something about it. But Liz Cheney, who thinks she's Abraham Lincoln, she is so full of herself. She is so self-important. She is more full of herself than Mike Pence, who's using the royal we. This is Liz Cheney, woman of the people. She can't even call herself. You hear two voices. The first voice is her assistant making the call for her. And then you hear Liz Cheney leaving a message on Hagerman's voicemail. But here it is. This is Liz Cheney's concession call. Now, Steve, you're ruffling your mic there. What you're hearing in the background is Hagerman's voice message, and then you'll hear Liz Cheney's assistant and Liz.
KP's calling it, so it should go. That's what you tell us.
Howdy, here is Liz Cheney calling. It's about 8:13 on Tuesday the 16th. I'm calling to concede the election and to congratulate you on the win. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. See ya. I mean, my goodness, that's the call. And the reason she made such a production of it is because she's willing to concede defeat, unlike Donald Trump. But and then yesterday morning, that thing with Pence happened. So, you know, the January 6th committee plans on having a grand finale with Mike Pence being called in and raising his right hand and doing all this stuff, and it's going to be a media spectacle. It will preempt all programming, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think they'll do that one during the day, and the reason I think they'll do it during the day is so that the primetime news shows talk and cover it. Their primetime things have kind of fizzled because a lot of the news networks don't want to preempt their commentators, and if they do it earlier during the day, during the week, the primetime commentators will be discussing it. That's what they're going to do. I never trusted this guy, Mike Pence. And, remember the left called him a homophobe because they accused him of having pray the gay away sweat lodges when he was governor. Remember all that? And, and all conversion therapy, all these things. They told us he was as evil as they used to say Dick Cheney was. And look who the left and the media's biggest friends are. The Cheneys, who they wanted to bring up on war crime charges at The Hague, and the man they said was the biggest homophobe in the history of homophobia, Mike Pence. These are the media liberal darlings right now. But Pence is, make no mistake about it, nothing but a low-life snake. And this holier-than-thou thing that he's pulling here, where he is, I'll do it if I'm called. There are co-equal branches of government, and, we've got to do it. Anytime you hear a politician wrap themselves around the Constitution, they're burning the Constitution up or they're tearing the Constitution up. And he's using the Constitution more than Cheney does in that little fake Q&A that he had at the Soups and Sausages speech. Some speech with it had a weird name. I can't remember what it was called, but it was something stupid like that. All right, our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1 888-465-2631. It's a toll free call from anywhere. 888-465-2631. Now, a story I mentioned at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. I just want to mention again here. It's very brief, but it's important. China announced yesterday that they are deploying soldiers to Russia to train alongside Russian troops. And obviously what's going on here is the Russian army and the Chinese army, both the soldiers and their commanders, what the rehearsal is for them working together. And there's obviously a move ready to come on Taiwan and a hard move on Ukraine. And here with this deployment of Chinese troops to train alongside Russian troops in Russia, I think we very well may be right now in World War III. We just don't know it yet. And with this checked out senile Alzheimer's patient we have as the commander-in-chief, what could our response be if China and Russia were to make these moves? I see no other reason they'd be doing military maneuvers together. So if you're on hold, stand by. After the break, we'll take some calls, but I want to hear your thoughts on everything we brought up so far on the program, and there's more to touch on too after the break. Our number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. And of course, the Steve Kane Show, we are here with you weekday mornings from 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. taking your calls. And this is just one of those days that there's a lot of news. Now, Don Jr. predicts that this fake judge today will not unseal the affidavit. I'm going to have to agree with that one. What do you think, Steve? Yes. Yeah, he's not going to unseal it because it would expose everything. They didn't pick an Obama donor Epstein lawyer by accident. They picked somebody that'll play ball with him.
Yeah, I think it's somebody like
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's right. That's right. That's right. We'll be right back with your calls after this break.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
The Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our group. Fine dining together every night. Cocktail parties, shore excursions, onboard activities, and a whole lot more. On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID, during the height of the pandemic, so we got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus special financing. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward into art class.
A 4-foot replica of the Statue of Liberty using elbow macaroni?
With glue and art supplies from Staples.
By tomorrow.
Right now, 24-count Crayola crayons and Polly Pocket folders are just 50 cents each. Plus, select lunch and backpack sets are only $14.99. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. In-store only folder and crayon offers and day 27, limit 30. Backpacks and day 20.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101.
Steve Kane Show.
561-245-8101.
Steve Kane Show.
And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Smarter than 95,000 milligrams.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You know, this is crazy, and I just saw this during the break. I did not realize this. 30 years ago, that's crazy, 30 years ago this week, Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida. Can you believe that? 30 years? And that was in 1992. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's correct. At the radio station, yes. Yeah, that's the one where the board op drank all the beer. And that's crazy to me. And how, you know, when it makes you feel old. 30 years ago, it was 1992, was Hurricane Andrew. I mean, think about it. 30 years before that, it was 1962. I wasn't even alive. My parents were young. That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah. Yes, that's correct. So it was 30 years ago this week that Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida, and those of you that were here at the time, you remember that one. Oh man, it was the first really major hurricane in a long time. And that means that right now we are in hurricane season. We certainly are. It is rainy season. It is hurricane season. And Tom Laporta over at Laporta Contracting, you want to call him for a roof inspection of your home. If you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, and Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting will never sell you a roof that you do not need. And I have talked to many listeners, both in single-family homes or that are with condos and HOAs, where they've had other roofers come out and tell them they needed a whole new roof. Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting came out and said, you need a simple repair. That's an amazing thing. And don't ignore those leaks. Don't. It is hurricane season still, and you want to take care of it. And you want to take care of it before it becomes a big leak and you need a whole new roof like Steve did. And Tom Laporta, he's a good MAGA guy. No matter where you are located in the state of Florida, Tom Laporta and Laporta Contracting can help you with any type of roof, by the way. Not just any type of roofing material, but any... Yeah, I will, but also any type of structure. Single-family home, commercial, office buildings, warehouses. He's even done church roofs here in Florida. And he also has the same tiles available to him that Donald Trump uses on Mar-a-Lago, which are specialty Spanish tiles in specialty multiple colors. And Tom Laporta has those. So this number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com. Tom Laporta is a Florida roofing and general contractor, which is the highest level of contractor license in the state of Florida. Again, his number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. All right, so this Senate race in Pennsylvania is very important, and things are coming out. Now, there was a major embarrassment that happened this week with Dr. Oz, which Dr. Oz did something very stupid. This thing with at the grocery store. Did you see this, Steve? Yeah, he went to, he's one of those carpetbaggers. He's not, he lives somewhere else, but he's pretending to be Pennsylvanian and a common man. And he went to the grocery store to do to make a campaign video showing the high cost of food under Biden. And he got the name of the grocery chain wrong, and he bought fancy foods, a bunch of fancy French food. It was a disaster. But listen, you still got to vote for Dr. Oz if you're in Pennsylvania. He's endorsed by President Trump, and we need that vote in the Senate. He's running against Fetterman, who's a communist. He's the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, and he's a communist. He's an admitted communist. And there's something that has come out about him, and I have some audio of it. He chased an innocent black man down the road a few years ago with a shotgun. And let me share the incident with you. It happened back in 2013. Outside Fetterman's home in 2013, after hearing what he thought were gunshots on a nearby street, Fetterman says he saw a black man wearing a face mask and goggles running on foot through his neighborhood. He immediately thought he was a suspect. Okay? So the Democrat communist, Black Lives Matter guy, Fetterman, he called 911, but before the police arrived, he grabbed his shotgun and followed the black man in his truck with the shotgun before the situation escalated into a confrontation. I didn't know if it was a rampage. I didn't know if it was a drive-by. No one could know what was going on at that point other than a large number of shots were fired from what sounded like a high-powered rifle, says Fetterman. At that point, I made the decision as parent and as mayor to intervene. And he grabbed the shotgun, stopped an innocent black man with the shotgun, and ordered him to stop. I ordered him to stop twice. Just stay right there. He refused. I don't blame him. You got this big white guy who dresses like a thug with a 12 gauge. I wouldn't want to stop either. He said, that's when I felt like I needed to make sure because I didn't know what was coming, Fetterman said. I removed the shotgun from my car. And then he gave an interview about pulling the shotgun on this completely innocent man, Fetterman. Here we go.
The right thing, but I may have broken the law during the course of it, and I'm certainly not above the law.
Now, new at 6 tonight, the mayor of Braddock admits to pulling a shotgun after chasing a man he suspected of firing a gun near his home. And it turns out that man was just an innocent jogger.
Okay, yeah, so the Democrat lefty BLM-supported communist, who's the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, running against Dr. Oz, he thought a man was a criminal just because he was a black man and brought out the 12 gauge and stopped him in the street like he's part of a lynch mob, a lynching party. And this story, complete media blackout on. And this stupid story with Dr. Oz buying the French vegetables at the grocery store, the video's gone viral. Everyone's talking about it on every media outlet about how out of touch. Now, if Dr. Oz had pulled a 12 gauge on a black man, I could see them making that a viral story. That would be shocking. But Democrats, Steve, they have Democrats can do whatever they want. It's never questioned. It's never reported. It's never exposed, is it? Yeah, I know. Steve said. But this case of Fetterman is the kind of story that should be a campaign ender. It really should. And you look at these stories that they grab onto, and the ones they don't report. Media bias isn't just a spin on a story. It's on what stories they choose not to run. Now, here we are. Today's Thursday. I had this story first on Monday. Val Demings, I've been talking about this. We got to mention it every day. Primaries on Tuesday. Val Demings, who's running for Senate here in Florida. She's a Democrat. 2 of her security team attacked and beat up a man with a camera for no reason other than he was filming one of her campaign events, and it wasn't controlled media filming. And still, it has been reported in 3 places. Florida Politics, which is an obscure website that I've never heard of before. The Gateway Pundit, which is a conservative news site that's fringe, but that I go to regularly. And the Washington Examiner, which is a Republican newspaper. had the story. I haven't seen any television coverage of it. I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere on television, and I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere other than this show and those 3 outlets. And there is dramatic video that I played the audio earlier this week of Val Deming security attacking this man at a public event just because he was filming the public event, threw him to the ground, sent him to the hospital. This is all on video, and it's very dramatic. It's perfect for television. And the one security guy of Val Deming's, while he's doing it, says, "I used to beat guys' heads in the wall at the jail like this." So he's a former, maybe current, I don't know, but at some point he was a detention officer who abused prisoners, and he confesses to it on the video, and there's no news stories about this. So we've got 2 people that are Democrats that are running for Senate that are involved in extremely violent incidents. Extremely violent incidents. And there's video footage backing all of it up, and complete media blackout. I don't know how Republicans get elected to anything. You know, I mean, isn't it? I mean, look at what we have to go up against. And this, I want to play the clip of Val Deming's because no one else is. And I'm going to play this at least once a day until the primary is over on Tuesday.
And that's what I told you. Didn't I say I would probably respect whatever you did?
I used to bounce people off like you off their head in the jail. That's Val Deming's, one of her security people, to this man that they were sending to the hospital.
I don't do bad things. I'm not one of those people. Okay, well, I'm telling you right now. I'm just doing my job. That's it. That's it. I'm not, and I've been good to you guys. I'm sorry. I know, but I've been so good to you guys. I've been so good. You're just being ridiculous. No, I'm not. I just want to be even keel. When you see me, okay, right now. Okay, thank you. So don't take it personal. No, I'm not. Everything that's just happened. No. Going forward, don't take it personal. Take what personal? What's going to happen to you? Okay. All right.
Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah. Don't. Yeah. We're about to beat you down and send you to the hospital, but don't take it personally. We work for Val Deming's. And I got to tell you, I'm starting to get pissed off at Marco Rubio. What the hell? You know, this story is 12 days ago this happened. I found out about it on Monday. I've been sharing it every day. Marco Rubio's people should have a television commercial with this all over the place. The primary is on Tuesday, and no one is covering this. And that goes for Florida media, not just national media. And a lot of it has to do with the fact, I believe, of the power of the media buy. The National Democrat Party has poured millions and millions of dollars into her campaign. Every time I turn on the television, there's a Val Deming's commercial on. So they don't want to run this story. I think they're afraid they'll lose the ad buy. I don't know why Marco Rubio's not all over this either. I mean, I support Marco Rubio. I will be voting for Marco Rubio. But I can't win the campaign for Marco Rubio if they're not helping. They got to help. You know, I mean, this is ridiculous. All right, we have 1 hour to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here, back with your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm First Warning Meteorologist Vanessa Bennett from WPBF 25 News. Another hot day with those feels-like temperatures climbing into the hundreds later this afternoon, flirting with record highs later this afternoon as well. And afternoon showers and thunderstorms will be developing after 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock this evening.
Steve Kane Show.
95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community.
Hold on, I'll take your call after the break. Hold on. Steve Kane Show, hold on.
Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
Good news, in Broward
Broward County. We've been reopened on Federal Highway, US 1, between Dixie Highway and Sterling Road. We had an earlier closure there. 95 northbound at Broward Boulevard. We are slow here. Actually slow from Ives Deary Road as I'm seeing it. Yes, Ives Deary Road. The left lane is blocked here because of a crash. Watch your speed.
Come back.
Palm Beach County, Southern Boulevard, westbound from Australian Avenue to Kirk Road is closed right now for police activity. And we have a crash on Atlantic Avenue east of the
It's disgusting. These Democrats, they do whatever the hell they want.
With youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit pcadebzone.org. That's Check on Traffic. I'm Greg Tanner.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Mark Remillard. It's expected the chief financial officer of former President Trump's namesake company, Alan Weisselberg, will plead guilty to tax violations on Thursday. His guilty plea comes in exchange for testimony about illicit business practices at Trump's company. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky vowing changes for the agency after a report found deficiencies in the way it conveyed guidance to the public during the COVID-19 pandemic. Former CDC Director Dr. Richard Besser tells ABC News that the CDC's most recent guidance should have come sooner.
The CDC recently put out guidance.
No, Marco Rubio's people should have that video all over the place. That should be an ad.
But it definitely wasn't.
It's outrageous.
It was basically catching up with what the general public was already doing.
Walensky says she plans to make staffing changes and overhaul the CDC's information sharing. The U.S. set to
Awesome.
talks with Taiwan in a further show of support for the self-governing island. This is ABC News.
Hey y'all, this your girl Charlotte Wood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge or a coupon and daily support? Sign up at Metamucil.com today.
Get it off your chest. Just call in 888-GO-KANE-1. Hello. You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We've had a lot of huge news today, and I haven't even gotten to everything yet. But let's go to the phones. You're welcome to call in on anything we've brought up so far on the program at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Rod. I'm calling from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Rod. What's up?
Well, listen, I saw that video of the security guards beating on that guy. I saw that on the Daily Mail.
Well, the Daily Mail is a conservative online website.
But yeah, I don't think they're conservative. They're probably
No, they're conservative. The Daily Mail.
They're very anti-Trump.
Well, they're never Trumpers, but they're Republicans. Yeah, but that's it. Hasn't been in. It has not been in the local news here in Florida that I've seen, and I have not seen it, and I've not seen it on Fox. I've not seen it on Newsmax or anywhere else. And I'm gonna do the story at least once a day through the primary. We've got to.
All right, you and Steve.
All right, you take care, Coconut Creek. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Dave Murray.
Dave, you're on the air.
Hi, I'm from Martin County. I'm a retired from the fire service.
Oh, welcome.
About Liz Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
On the radio. Now, I believe Lady Lincoln is going to run third party, so she can take votes away from...
What votes would those be? Her dad's vote? I mean, she barely got any votes in her own home. You know, this is the thing with Liz Cheney. She announced yesterday she's dedicating her life to attacking Trump. She's going to form some anti-Trump organization. This is what happened. She sacrificed her lifetime seat in the House of Representatives for her dad and all of his creepy friends. And by the way, remember, her dad shot someone in the face and got away with it, on top of the fact that a million people are dead because of her dad's lies about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. But what they're going to do now is begin the grift. She sacrificed her lifetime seat in the House. A presidential run is just a way for them and their friends to make money. It's millions of dollars, and they'll make money doing it.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
The third party, maybe even a run with Mike Pence.
No, now her and Mike Pence, they're not going to do third party. Her and Mike, it's interesting you bring that up. It is very possible that Liz Cheney and Mike Pence will both run for president in the Republican Party, and the reason, there's two reasons why Liz Cheney's will do it, and it will be the Republican, not a third party, the Republican Party. One is the con to get the money, as if she's already gotten like $60 million from the Chinese through her husband, but it's not enough for these people. But the other thing is, these are delusional, right? You got the Trump derangement delusion. Liz Cheney believes that if she runs for president in the Republican primary, that she's going to be able to debate Donald Trump and finally expose him during the Republican primary debates in 2024. That's her fantasy.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You may be right. I may be wrong. I'm just bringing up a party run to.
Now you're in Martin County. That means you're in our new expansion area, calling us from MAGA country. The most pro Donald Trump county on the planet is Martin County.
I love the flags and the pickup trucks that fly me.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Oh man, I'm telling you, that you got to travel up, and you got to spend the weekend up in Martin County, Steve. You'll not want to leave. It's, oh my goodness. It's everybody loves Trump as much as we do. Everyone. I told you, my wife and I, we went to Denny's up in Stewart. They were selling Trump merch at Denny's. I'm serious. I'm serious. There's this one store that we always go to in Stewart, and I'll give them a free plug. Nautical but nice. And it's kind of like a tourist shop where they sell like tourist, like you buy the seashells where you can hear the ocean and stuff. They got full-size display when you walk in of President Trump, so that you can take selfies with President Trump when you walk into the store. I mean, it is. They should change the name of Martin County to Trump County or MAGA County or something. It's beautiful. You'd love it there. It's a nice area too, but the people are like perfect. They're perfect. All right, our number 1-888-COCAINE-1. I'm serious. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Now, there are a couple other things going on here, and this move against President Trump. There's three things have happened in the last 36 hours where we have three people that are close to Trump who are coming out. I'm including Pence in that, because Pence trying to get called to testify at the January 6th committee, that's a new element. And there are two others. Now, I played one yesterday, and then there's a new one this morning. Laura Ingraham came out and said it's time to move away from Trump. This was a podcast interview. I played this yesterday. I'm playing it again because we have a new person joining her. Listen to this. This is Laura Ingraham.
People conflate Trump with people's overall sense of happiness in the country. I mean, country, I think, is so exhausted. They're exhausted by the battle, the constant battle, that they may believe that, well, maybe it's time to turn the page if we can get someone who has all Trump's policies who's not Trump.
Okay, now, of course, she's referencing our great governor, Ron DeSantis. And I'll tell you, we all love Ron DeSantis. He's great. I mean, we love him, But he's not Trump, and it's not his time. His time is 28. If Trump were in the White House right now, he'd be our nominee, no doubt about it. But Ron DeSantis is great, and everything about him is great. But he seems like a perfect candidate to a lot of people because the media and the Democrats are laying off of him because they want him to replace Trump. The minute that happens, the minute he's running for president, even 28 or whatever, they're going to trash him like Trump. Right now, there's a very heated Florida primary going on right now for the Democrats because Ron DeSantis is up for re-election, right? There's not even negative campaign ads, really, against Ron DeSantis because they want to keep him clean and make him look like an attractive candidate. So Laura Ingraham did something very sneaky there. She did this podcast interview where she's talking about moving on from Trump. She didn't do it on her Fox News show, and that was not an accident. That's her trying to get the dialogue going. And then yesterday, Alex Jones came out. Okay, listen to this. This is Alex Jones.
Support him a few years ago, even though I disagreed with his warp speed, because I thought that we had to keep him in office because of the nightmare scenario if Hillary or Biden got in, back before they were officially running. But that said, I am supporting DeSantis. DeSantis is just gone from being awesome to being unbelievably good. And I don't just watch a man's actions, as Christ said, judge a tree by its fruits. I can also look in his eyes on HD video, and I see the real sincerity.
Okay, so now we've got Alex Jones on the DeSantis train, and I'll say this. I find it a little more than coincidental that he has just been financially wrecked beyond imagination, and now all of a sudden he's dropping Trump and getting part of this Lincoln Project scheme that Laura Ingraham's a part of. You understand what I mean? I don't know. It seems like he's looking for a way to get out of his financial troubles. They're trying to divide the family, and the family's the MAGA family, right? They're trying to get us to make Sophie's choice here, right, with DeSantis or Trump. Trump jumped up 10 points in the Republican poll versus DeSantis after the break-in. Look at what's happened. President Trump, 80%, that's 8 of the 10, Republicans that voted to impeach Trump lost. The 8 out of 10 of them lost. Yeah. So don't buy this crap. I'm tired of the drama, Lauren. When the drama's over, that means we've lost and the left have won. Okay? And this thing with Alex Jones, you talk about a grift. There's a grift going on here. He's got to make money somehow. And that Lincoln Project Never Trumpers, they got a lot of it. And he's trying to get some of that Never Trumper pie to get him out of this financial wreck. And Laura Ingraham, I'm afraid Hannity's going to be next. I really am. And she's doing it. They already got Brett Baer. All right, listen, we're going to take our break, first break of the hour, back with your calls. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE1 is our number. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Here, I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE1 is our number. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now at Boca in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. South of Palmetto on the east side of 441. Open Monday through Saturday, no appointment necessary.
Even putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
You know you're in trouble when your back is going out more than you. Hi, this is Tonka. This week on Body Talk, it's all about resolving your back pain.
Body Talk with Tonka. Saturday mornings on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. Join the movement.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today.
You know, these sex bots, do you think anybody actually clicks on those sites and goes there? They must. They go to such an effort. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus special financing. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Today on Hey Culligan, better with water that cares. Jane's on the line.
Hey Culligan, how can I avoid using all those plastic water bottles that harm the sea turtles?
Jane, our always-on drinking water system helps eliminate the equivalent of 15 billion single-use plastic bottles a year. So, you see, Culligan cares about sea turtles, too.
Aw, plastic pollutes and Culligan cures.
That's catchy, Jane, and totally true.
I'll take it, like now.
Jane, we're already on the way. Let us help you out with free in-home water test with a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Grab your coffee and get ready to drink. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Now earlier in the week, this was something I brought up on the show earlier in the week, and I was surprised that I got so much support for this. I was happy though. You know, I was talking about wearing my MAGA hat when the realtors come around the neighborhood. You know, every other house in my neighborhood is for sale because the Florida real estate prices are through the roof. You guys know, right? They're through the roof right now. And I could not afford to move into my own neighborhood. And I was talking earlier in the week, every time I see a real estate agent, an open house, or prospective buyers in the neighborhood, I put my MAGA hat on, go outside and pretend to be busy in the yard so that they know that they're moving into a MAGA neighborhood. And I really don't want liberals moving in. And the house across the street from me just sold. And the people that bought it, they have not closed yet, but it's the house directly across the street from me. And I think I know which family that was looking at it bought it. They have a Tesla, and they came to the house like 4 or 5 times. And every time they came, I put the MAGA hat on, went outside, and the last time I saw them was over the weekend. I walked in front of their car and waved to them. And not everyone with a Tesla is a liberal. My brother-in-law has a Tesla. He's a Trump guy, you know. He has a long commute to work, so he got a Tesla, you know. And I ran into some MAGA Tesla owners up at Mar-a-Lago too over the weekend. So I'm going to find out soon. It'll be within the next month if it works, Steve. Because if they were a liberal, if they're liberals and they're looking at a house and they see that the guy right across the street is wearing a Make America Great Again hat and a Trump shirt, every time they come over to look at the house, I don't think a liberal would want to live across the street from me. Do you? You think they would call off the sale? You think a liberal would mind? No, I think it'd scare them off. I think it'd scare them off. Liberals think we're the Klan, Steve. You think they're going? It's wearing the MAGA gear when the open houses and prospective buyers come over with the real estate agent probably hates me. I mean, I'm not so obvious about it. I mean, I go out, I take out the trash, I got to get something out of the car, I got to check the mail, you know, I got to trim the trees, I got to do something, you know. And I'm going to find out with the first family whether or not it worked. And I don't want to live in a liberal neighborhood. Because, you know, look what liberal. I was looking today. I saw a story in Portland. They're passing a law allowing people to pitch tents on the sidewalk in front of people's homes. So, you know, if you let liberals move into your neighborhood and take over your neighborhood, what do they bring with them? They bring homelessness. They bring crime because they're soft on crime. I mean, you know, if your neighborhood gets taken over by Democrats, it's open season for the homeless to move in and for the criminals to break into all your cars at night while you're sleeping and God knows what else. I do not want to live in a liberal neighborhood. So I'm assuming, you know, I take that back. The house next door to me, new people moved in, and when they were showing the house, I did the same thing, and they're MAGA people too, the people directly next door to me. So this will be my second test. But if the Tesla people are MAGA, then I'll know it works. And I think I don't think it's a bad thing to do. You know, you want to live in a neighborhood that you're. Well, you know, the people that move in next door to you and across the street, I mean, that's a long-term relationship you have with these people. They're gonna live there for many years. You're gonna live there for many years. Do you want to live next door to a Democrat in this era? I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I might put some speakers on the back porch, and they can play the radio show in the morning, Steve, when I'm not home and we're on the air. Well, you know, living around liberals. I mean, you look at these liberal communities, and they don't look like places you want to see. All right, now there's a story here that I don't think any of you have heard, and it's another piece to the puzzle to the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. And there's an article in the Gateway Pundit, and I'm not going to read you the whole article, but I'll just give you the Reader's Digest summary of it. The Gateway Pundit believes that the person behind the break-in of Mar-a-Lago is Peter Strzok. And they've done some research on, Peter Strzok from the text with Lisa Page, the FBI guy that was investigating the Hillary, and he's been on TV this week. And the Gateway Pundit has a very detailed article about Peter Strzok. If you go to the Gateway Pundit after 9 o'clock when we're off the air, go and look it up and read it. They believe he's not FBI, that he's CIA. And there is no record of Peter Strzok attending the FBI Academy. In fact, he was in the military, went right from the military to working at the White House as an FBI guy. There was not even a window of opportunity to attend the Academy. And they think he's CIA, and that it was a CIA op at Mar-a-Lago. It's in the Gateway Pundit this morning. And that makes, this is what people don't, I don't think people fully understand what their opposition is to Trump. Now, there's two types of opposition, right? There's the rank and file Democrats that call us on the show. Okay, those are just useful idiots. But the Washington elite, why they hate Donald Trump is he messes up all of their deals. This story that came out this week with Liz Cheney, she's made over $60 million from the Chinese Communist Party through her husband. Okay? They all are making money through China and all these other deals, and Donald Trump interrupted their deal making. That's the main reason they're against him. Look at what he did with NATO. Was another one of their big grifts, right, for the donors and for the politicians. He stopped that by making the Europeans pay and all of these things. That's why they hate him. They've lost control over what they consider to be their family business. That's why they hate him. Yeah. All right, listen, our number's toll-free. Callers on hold. Stand by. We'll go to the phones now at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. I told you guys, there's a lot of news. There's so much news going on today. I don't even know where to start, where to end, and what to put in the middle. There's just so much going on. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Victor, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Hey, Victor.
And I live in a liberal neighborhood.
Ugh.
I have to hear all the craziness coming from my neighbors. Now, one woman who is a conservative, she's 80 years old, and she lived about a couple of blocks from me. I heard this from another neighbor I can talk to. She put an American flag up and a Trump sign. Somebody got so enraged, they got a bunch of people together and they smashed her windows, ruined her siding, and practically destroyed her.
Because she's a conservative? Yeah. An old lady? That's insane.
It is. I'm treated differently because I've been in the neighborhood in my house for 50 years. So the neighbors, got to know me, and when my wife left me, they took turns reading my mail to me and teaching me various things, how to cook.
Yeah.
And they asked me, well, how do you mow your lawn? Because
All right, Victor. Victor is visually impaired, so every call, as good as they are, always delves into, that, and that's interesting. But not every call, Victor. By the way, did your wife leave you for someone who is sighted?
I don't know. I don't talk to.
Okay, all right. I just wonder who she left. Usually, when a woman leaves the man, she's got something else set up. No, I mean, you look at what's going on around this country in cities and neighborhoods that are run by Democrats. Why would I want that in my neighborhood, right? Hey, Victor, thanks for the call. The rest of you on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere you're listening to The Steve Kane Show. By the way, if you miss a portion of the show, about an hour after we sign off each day, if you go to our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com, the entire show in its entirety is uploaded on the podcast page at oldiesouthflorida.com every day. We'll be right back after this. The entire show in its entirety is uploaded on the podcast page at oldiesouthflorida.com every day. We'll be right back after this.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. First morning meteorologist Vanessa Bennett from WPBF 25 News. Another hot day with those feels like temperatures climbing into the hundreds later this afternoon, flirting with record highs later this afternoon as well, and afternoon showers and thunderstorms will be developing after 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock this evening.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
Good morning in Broward County, 95 northbound at Broward Boulevard. You'll find a crash here. Palm Beach County, 95 northbound before 45th Street. We have a crash on the right shoulder. And Atlantic Avenue, east of the Turnpike, a crash. Plus, today from 9 to noon, westbound lane of Blue Heron Bridge is going to be closed for accident investigation work. This report brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how
Wow, I'm just reading a fascinating article. I'll talk about it when I get back.
Customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Steve, have you seen that video of the Border Patrol opening up the gates to America to the illegals? Have you seen this yet? Yeah.
But control, I mean, it gets worse exponentially. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, this one's crazy. I mean, it looks like they have hundreds, if not thousands, of illegals at the fence, and they just open up the gate, come to America, it's all here.
No indication of stopping or even thinking about stopping.
No, and it's getting worse. Well, it's an interesting thing here, because I just got an email from an old friend of ours, Tom Trento. You remember Tom Trento? And, yeah, and he's working on a new project. I might call him. Maybe we'll have him on the show, because this is interesting. And he sent an email for a project he's working on that involves the southern border, just coincidentally, and it fits in with that story. And, you know, I was talking yesterday that really what's going on down there at the southern border, these are drug mules that the cartels are sending up. And, you know, the great replacement theory, it's not that there's not any truth to that. That may be an end result of what they're doing, but the main thing they're doing is the drug trafficking. And, you know, I was talking about in the old days of the 80s, you know, like the Miami Vice days of Florida, the drug trafficking came through these small airplanes or, you know, boats, and sometimes you would see, you know, bales of things would wash up on the shore of the beach. Remember those days? And now the drug trafficking is done by the illegal migrants at the southern border. And Tom Trento sent me a map that he put together here that details how it works. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll just kind of explain. I was just looking this over during the break. And it's mostly fentanyl. Fentanyl's the big thing. It's not weed. It's not coke. It's fentanyl. And yeah, and it's the new crack. You know, a lot of people who were, you know, black activists talked about how back in the crack days, although I'm sure crack is still around, but during the height of the crack epidemic, that the sentencing guidelines on crack were racial because, you know, crack cocaine, you got more time than if you had the powdered cocaine, and crack was a black drug and powder was a white elitist drug. The reason that the sentencing guidelines were extra strict on crack is not just because it's more potent and deadly than regular powdered cocaine, but it was so cheap, even homeless people could buy it. Powdered cocaine is expensive. I mean, you know, it's more than gold, right? So it wasn't as common or as much of a danger as something. And fentanyl is the same way. It's El Cheapo. It's small, it's El Cheapo, and the profit margins are huge. And Tom Trento sent me this diagram/map of the whole process. The fentanyl is being shipped in on freighters in China to ports on the Pacific coast of Mexico, okay? Then they transport it up to the northern border of Mexico and put it on the backs of migrants who walk across the border every day with backpacks and pockets filled with fentanyl. And basically what we're looking at here at the southern border is the largest drug trafficking ring in the history of the planet Earth. And it's being talked about here, it's being talked about there, but this great replacement theory fits into the media narrative because they make it a racial thing. Oh, they're white supremacists. Tucker Carlson's a white nationalist, and he doesn't want... and it gets away from what's really going on here. And I think more than this replacement theory, which I don't totally disagree with, but I just think that the replacement theory is just something, it's a unintended benefit the Democrats have found in this. The main thing is the drug trafficking from the Chinese fentanyl plants on the ships to Mexico and then on the backs of illegals into the United States. And this Tom, I got to call Tom Trento because he seems to have done a lot of research in this, and that's what it is. And let me tell you, I have known people personally that have drug addictions, and drug addiction is terrible. Have you ever been, Steve, to Walgreens or CVS when someone who's one of these fentanyl addicts or something is trying to renew a prescription? Oh my goodness. Oh, I've seen this happen several times. They go to renew a prescription and it's too soon, or there's a question about it, they freak out and start screaming. And I've seen this with people multiple times, different ages, right? 20s and even seniors, because they're addicted to the drug and they need it like, like anything, they're like Hunter Biden. And they have meltdowns over it. It's whew. And they even call them out. Like, I've seen this happen where it's a prescription that they can't verify, and they still sit there screaming, arguing with the pharmacist, even though the pharmacist they know is probably called the police and is buying time, but they want that drug so bad they're trying to scream and yell so that the pharmacist will just give it to them. And this fentanyl trafficking ring that's going up through the southern border here, that's what the whole thing's about. And it's really a terrible thing that's going on. This, I saw an article. Well, they're getting paid by China. It's all coming from China, and China, they're all on the take with China. So, and it benefits China not just financially, but it's tearing down the country. There are certain drugs that affect a demographic group of people. Fentanyl is across the board affecting every demo of people in this country. It's not one type of person. There's people in every type of group you have that are addicted to fentanyl. I mean, I don't take anything. Even, like I hurt my leg the other day, and my knee is in a lot of pain. I don't even take an aspirin. I haven't even taken a Tylenol for it. I'm just suffering. I just, I don't like to take anything, especially prescription medications, for any kind of pain, because I see what happens. People, they get hurt. Look what happened to Rush. They get yeah, they're very hard to get off of. And people get addicted that have no history of drug abuse or anything else. And both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats in Washington that are on the take for China, the Republican establishment and the Democrats, they all know what's going on in great detail at the southern border with this fentanyl smuggling ring, and all they care about is getting paid. That's all they care about. I mean, and that's one of the other reasons they hate Trump too. Trump shut down the drug trafficking, the sex trafficking, and all these things from the southern border, and they're all back now. But what's going on in this country right now, in the past year and a half, this country is being damaged in ways that I don't know if are repairable. Once people get hooked on these drugs, it's not that easy to get them off. So how many people have become addicted in the last year and a half because of Biden and the southern border allowing this drug smuggling?
But it's a lot deeper than that. When I take a look at what's going on in my hometown.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, the crime.
With Central Park and the places where I grew up, we can't even walk anymore. I mean, it's like literally a jungle.
Well, New York, when they had like the big dangerous times in the 70s, I think it's more dangerous now because what I see is criminals committing very violent crimes in the middle of the day. They used to do them at night, and they know everything is being video recorded now. Daytime, and they're on high definition video, and they're still doing crime and assaulting people and committing felonies.
Arrest them.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, so the streets of New York have never been as dangerous as they are now. This is the deadliest time, I think, in the history of New York. This right now is probably the most dangerous time to walk the streets.
That?
Yeah.
There's no question.
And I remember when Adams was running, and I would hear some of these pundits say, well, he's a Democrat, but he's a cop. And you got to be a Democrat to get elected. I don't trust anyone. A race hustler.
No, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Wears many masks.
Yeah.
Race hustler being one of them. No, it's really scary.
It is frightening, and I feel so sorry for the people in New York. And you look at what's going on in this country today. I was talking in the first hour. I read an article today, and the headline of the article was, "Is Joe Biden overseeing the demise of the United States?" And in many ways, the answer to that is yes. Between the number of people that are addicted to drugs today in this country because of what's going on at the southern border with this fentanyl ring is beyond measure. The crime. Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
They took a cruise that took them to the West Coast, and she said it was Seattle in specific was where she was visiting, and she said it was just.
I can imagine. Now listen, we're up against the break, so we'll be back with the Gold Report after this.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and 90.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman with the Gold and Precious Metals Report for the day. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Great. How the metals look today?
Metals look like still a great buying opportunity. After breaking through the 50-day moving average this week, we pushed gold all the way down to $1,760 yesterday, closing out the day at $1,761.60, which was down $14, right around the support level that we should possibly hold around $1,760. Strong support on gold is around $1,750. I don't know whether we're going to get there or not. Silver closed down 38 cents yesterday at $19.77, while platinum was down $12 at $9.24, and palladium was down $16 at $2,070. Overnight, we saw gold trading in a range of $1,760 all the way up to $1,773. Right now, we're at $1,767. That's up $5.40. Silver up 8 cents at $19.85. Platinum unchanged at $9.24, and palladium up $25 at $2,095. As I said before, silver anything under $20 for silver is a great buying opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, now let me ask you, William Green, because I know guys, there's some guys, they're gold guys, all they buy is gold. There's silver guys, all they buy is silver, and there's platinum people too. All they buy is platinum. How should people diversify? Is that the right thing to do, or should people buy a little bit of each?
Yeah, I think a good diversification in the metals is there's good reason to do that. Gold, silver, and platinum, and some of the forces that drive each of these metals in different directions can be independent of the others. Although in a full bull market of metals and commodities, of course, all three will rise. In that kind of atmosphere, you'll see silver outperform just about everything, and platinum has a very thin trading, so that can move dramatically, but it's more industrial based. Gold is the only real money left in the world, and that, of course, is very important in our portfolio.
No doubt about that. And at William Youngerman's here in Boca, everything is available for immediate delivery. All right? And he opens up weekdays at 10. William Youngerman is located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll-free 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And remember, no matter where you're located, you can do business with William Youngerman over the phone and through the mail. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. So, this affidavit hearing today, they've got this fake judge, this federal magistrate, Epstein lawyer, Obama donor, which right there tells you everything. They couldn't get a real judge to sign off on the warrant, and then they got a scummy lowlife lawyer. Everyone's entitled to a defense, but an attorney is not obligated to represent certain types of clients. And there are attorneys that will defend cold-blooded murderers, but will not defend sex offenders and people like that. This guy was an Epstein lawyer, right? He was a lawyer for some of the Epstein associates. I mean, that's real scummy. And an Obama donor. And, Don Jr. was on Newsmax last night. He said, you think it's just a coincidence that this magistrate that signed off on the break-in Mar-a-Lago warrant just happens to be an Epstein lawyer who donated to Obama? So what happens in that court case today, is probably going to be nothing. He will either immediately rule not to unseal it, or he'll have to take it under advisement to put it off as long as he can and have to deal with it. And to me, exactly.
Guess who I was listening to when I heard this, but somebody pointed out that in a situation like this, the one who wants to open everything up and wants the information public, that's the one you should believe.
Yeah.
Because the other one doesn't want you to see what's happening.
Well, it seems to me that breaking into the home of a president of the United States, I don't care who it is, it seems that should be handled by someone higher than a magistrate, which is really just a federal judge's assistant. This guy seems too low level to be handling something of this level, in my opinion. I don't know, but this is exactly. And look at the whole thing, right? The only reason we know about the warrant and the search of Mar-a-Lago, which took 9 hours, was because President Trump put it out there on Truth Social and announced it. They were going to try to keep this secret. There would have been rumors. We'd have been hearing from people who saw something. We never would have known. Donald Trump made it public, and President Trump is the one who keeps pushing to have everything made public. They're the ones that are. When have you seen a guilty person? They're treating him like El Chapo, breaking into the El Chapo compound in Mexico. When they go after someone like El Chapo, they don't say, please release everything, make everything public. When someone's guilty, they try to keep everything secret and drag everything out as long as possible. And all you've seen from Trump is transparency every step of the way, and you've seen the government, no, we can't show it. Of course it'll jeopardize their investigation, because if they make everything open to the public, we'll see that they got nothing, just like with the FISA warrant. And I do not believe there's a confidential informant in the Trump family or organization. I think that's totally made up. I really do.
Read the tabloids.
The tabloids?
They're starting to be something I've never seen before. There are articles about internal squabbles within the Trump.
What are you talking about? The Inquirer?
Yeah.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that garbage.
I take everything with a grain of salt, but I believe that it's. I don't think they're made out of whole cloth.
Who in the Trump family is arguing? I saw last night on Newsmax they had Don Jr., Jared Kushner. Oh, please. Last night on Newsmax they had Eric Trump and Don Jr. on. I've seen Eric Trump on multiple interviews since this. Jared Kushner never does interviews. I've only heard him talk once, and he's very tight-lipped. There's no internal conflict. That's all made up. I don't believe any of that. Jared Kushner is President Trump's Bobby Kennedy, right? He did all that brokering and everything for him, and if he needed something, he'd send him. I don't buy any of that. No way. No way. But well,
I don't think the Inquirer or any one of these mags and
the Inquirer. You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Oh yeah, I don't think they sit down and they make up a story from whole cloth from scratch.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't think they would do that.
So you think Jared Kushner is the mole? Okay. Well, I don't know what you're saying then.
Well, I'm saying there are rumors circulating in the underground press, let's use that term for want of another, that there's been a falling out between, and who's Jared married to?
Ivanka.
Ivanka, right. That Ivanka and Jared have become alienated from the rest of the family.
I don't believe any of that. Why would that be? Why would that even happen?
Jared on television.
He never goes on television. Never. It proves nothing. He never. When Trump was in his first term, you never saw Jared. He was always in the background with Trump or something. But he was no. He never. I don't think I've ever seen Jared Kushner in an interview. I've heard him speak in the background off mic a couple times. I know that, but no, that's... If you're going to the Inquirer for your source, I don't know, Steve. I didn't even know they still were in print.
This one is not from the Inquirer, as a matter of fact.
MSNBC? Oh my goodness. No, that's... No. Listen, I know this. Whenever the federal government does a high-profile raid, they love to come out and display the evidence of what they got, right? If it's a drug dealer, they display the drugs. If it's some financial criminal, they have a bunch of money that they have on the table. You know, if it's some kiddie porn person, they have a bunch of stuff on the table. This is the only time I've seen a high-profile bust where they don't have anything to show, and we're a week and a half after, and there hasn't been a single press conference. What the Attorney General did last week was come out and state what we already knew and took no questions.
Arguing about today.
They want the Trump team are going to court to ask the judge to open up the entire affidavit that's hidden, that's secret. And the government says you can't do that. It'll interfere with our investigation against Trump. Well, of course it will. No. Trump's trying to be as transparent as possible. He said, show me the evidence. And not only that, remember, he came out and said they took his passports, and then the left-wing media said that's not true, and then what happened? Trump was right. You know? He's the one who made it public. He's the one asking for transparency, and everything he said has been right. Now, Eric said 2 days ago that they're going to release the video that they have of the feds inside Mar-a-Lago. I wish they would do that. That's going to be very disturbing. Now, they may not have cameras in Melania's closet, okay? I would imagine they have areas where they don't have cameras so they can have some privacy. But when people see these agents going through President Trump and the First Lady's personal items for 9 hours, there's no way that's not going to tick people off. It's disgusting what they did. And this judge, this fake judge magistrate, I mean, this guy, this is just not going to hold up, Steve. It's just not. Yeah, there'll be no movement today. Yeah, there'll be no movement today from the judge. And the judge sees this. He's a magistrate is hired by other federal judges for a period of 4 years. They can be rehired again and again. This judge sees this as his ship coming in to becoming a real judge and becoming a federal judge. Like he's thinking that Biden or another Democrat president will appoint him to a real federal judgeship by doing this. And I'm sure that's what they're telling him. So he's going to do whatever the Democrats want him to do. Yeah. Now, those of you that are new to the program, if you're new to the program, welcome. And it's been about a month and a half since we did our expansion and to the Palm Beaches in Martin County. And you may have noticed we're slightly partial towards President Trump, and which, well, this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing about it. If you look at the people that don't like President Trump, you got to really ask yourself why. We know why the government people do, because of their scam. But when Liz Cheney came out yesterday, or the night before, comparing herself to Abraham Lincoln, that tells you, oh yeah, that tells you how close she is to the Lincoln Project. Because any time people wrap themselves around Lincoln, the Constitution, the flag, these are the people that are against the entire American way. And we were talking earlier about Pence testifying to the January 6th. Do you think that's going to happen, Steve? Pence talking to the January 6th committee? Yeah. He doesn't have to do that. He could. It's a vice president, current or former. No vice president, according to Pence, has ever been called to testify. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but if he was a real stand-up guy and a true Christian man, he wouldn't do it. He'd say, no, executive privilege. No. I don't think he ever was on our side. I think he was against Trump from the time Trump picked him. I'd like to know who was the original person that recommended Pence to Trump as a running mate. Because I remember when he made the announcement, it seemed like a strange pick to me. I don't know why he picked him. I don't know whose idea it was, but whoever had the original idea is somebody you want to look out for. I don't know who it was. I'd like to know. Because I don't think Pence was ever with Trump. I think he was one of the ones in there. He's probably one of the leakers during the entire time. And his staff. Yeah. I mean, if they call him to testify and he didn't want to and invoked executive privilege, he'd get away with it. He was vice president of the United States. But that thing that he pulled yesterday, he's dying for them to send him a subpoena. He's dying to testify. He can't wait. Because that's the kind of guy he is. Well, listen, we're out of time for today, but we'll be back tomorrow. The Steve Kane Show airs weekday mornings from 5 until 9 a.m., and, of course, tomorrow's Friday already, so Friday is Open MAGA Mic Friday, as we call it. That's our clever way of calling it open phones. Fridays are open phones. Anything and everything you have on your mind will be fair game on the phones on tomorrow's Friday, right? I don't want to get like Biden and not know what day of the week it is. But we'll be back tomorrow on our Open Phone Friday day. Until then, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for joining us. We've had some great calls all week long. And the IQ of this audience is pretty high, I must say, except for Liberal Al. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care. Thanks for listening, everyone. And don't forget, tomorrow, Open Phone Friday. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies is here.
All right, guys, listen, I got to run. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And don't leave without liking the video, if you don't mind. When you like the video, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and all my content to people that have not discovered my channel yet. And that's, of course, good and helps out, well, helps out the channel, but it helps me out by bringing new people here, so that's greatly appreciated. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care.